Gators Breakdown, because there's never a dull moment in Gator Nation.
The Gators Breakdown podcast is ready to go. I'm your host, David Waters. You can find me on Twitter at GatorDave_SEC. And here we are, a special guest time right here on Gators Breakdown. Gators wide receiver JaQuavion Fraziars hopping on Gators Breakdown, bringing it to you, Gator Nation. JaQuavion, hey, welcome, man.
Appreciate it. I appreciate you for having me.
Yeah. First podcast?
Yes, sir. First podcast.
There we go. Hopefully this won't be the last time. We'll get you out there in front of Gator Nation even more.
Hopefully.
All right. Before we get to JaQuavion, reminder, this is brought to you by Florida Victorious, Florida's new NIL entity, leading entity right here. And through the month of May, they have a $2 million match challenge. You guys can donate today. Let's double the impact this month. For the month of May, every new pledge, one-time pledges, memberships, sign-ups will be matched up to a total of $2 million. So let's get that NIL up there for the Gators through this $2 million match challenge through Florida Victorious. Yeah, and like I said, Florida Victorious bringing the JaQuavion Fraziars right here on Gators Breakdown. So JaQuavion, hey, let's get straight to it, man. Let's go back a week. You, Anthony Richardson, good friend of yours, gets drafted. What was it?
My boy.
Your boy. That's right. Hey, look, that was exciting to see last Thursday night, him going number 4 overall to the Colts. But, hey, NFLcom on Twitter threw out a little interaction between you and the former Gators quarterback. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll get your thoughts on the other side.
Yes, sir.
What is this? This gonna make me cry. Let's see. Hey, what's up, man?
What's good, bro?
How they got you on here?
Man, look, you asking too many questions, bro. Congratulations, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Congratulations.
Appreciate you, gang.
Hey, I'm talking about from AAU basketball to the NFL draft. Come on now, bro. You're doing it.
Yeah, doing it big, man.
Life treat you good, bro. I see it. I'm saying keep going. Please keep going.
For sure.
Keep it going, man.
For sure.
I love you.
Love you too, gang.
I love you, family.
For sure. Got my boy Baby J on there, man. Got Baby J on there. Dang. You want to get most of it again? We go way back. We played AAU basketball together, middle school and high school. Talking on the phone with him, it's different. Shout out to you, Jay. I love you, my boy.
JaQuavion, that was last week, right after he gets drafted, man, and you get to go in and have that interaction with him. You were at the draft party last week at the Swamp, watching your close friend get drafted. What did it mean to see that and then be able to have that access with him last week?
Knowing our history and stuff like that, man, it felt great. Honestly, seeing him walk the big stage after everything we've been through, all the hardships, trials and tribulations and stuff, it was probably the happiest moment of my life yet for somebody else.
So, I guess give everybody a little more background on the relationship between you and AR. A little bit of basketball, but how did that relationship blossom? Through AAU and then coming to Florida together.
Me and Ant, like you said, played AAU basketball. Well, we met back in AAU basketball in the 8th grade, and we played for the Thunderstruck along with a couple other Gators on the team, like Gervon Dexter, Leonard Manuel. He's not here with us, but that's where we all met. That's where we all made a bond at, and then we all just stayed committed and stayed close throughout high school, stuff like that, and went to East Side, which is probably an hour away from Denellen. We played once or twice here or there in scrimmages, 7-on-7. So, me and Ant were always, close, always. And then once we got to the University of Florida, everything just clicked and it meshed well.
So, what was the last few months for both of you like? You're going through spring practice and he's going through all this NFL draft prep and you couldn't turn on ESPN, you couldn't turn on the NFL Network without seeing, Anthony Richardson, your friend there, kind of getting critiqued. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad, but what was the relationship like the last few months, seeing him go through that process?
It wasn't a lot of talking, a lot of texting back and forth, but it was more of a trust thing. I know he's preparing well for the NFL Combine and stuff like that. Basically it was like a lot of trust. I know he's going to do, big things. And even with all the critics and stuff like that. It was kind of hard watching that, kind of listening to it and being like, yeah, that's not factual. But through the past couple of months, it's been like a trust thing. Like, I know he's doing good.
So when I want to go back to last season, of course, about the only season you guys are going to have to play together, unfortunately. But got to go back to last year, Texas A&M. Man, I think that might have been one of the best throws and catches of the season. I know the LSU game with him the shorter down the field, but man, as far as a beautiful throw and a beautiful catch, take us back to Aggie Land last year where you make that beautiful catch over your shoulder in the end zone. Unfortunately, you come up hobbled a little bit after that catch, but man, that to me was one of the best throws and catches of the year.
Yeah, it was funny actually because before that play, like right before that play, I wanted to come out because my shoulder was already separated, and we run like a fast-paced offense, so at that time we couldn't sub, so I had to, stick it out. And like I think as Ant said this in an interview before, like he looked out there, he liked the matchup. It was a yes or no throw, and he let it ride, and I just made a good play for him.
So I want to get that right. So you were already hurt. You made beautiful. You made that beautiful route. You made that beautiful catch with already an injured shoulder.
Yes, sir.
So was that something you had hurt in that game, or was it just kind of a nagging?
Oh, it was probably 2 plays before. On a special teams rep.
Ooh. Well, I'm glad you were out there making that catch anyway.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, so we're coming together, JaQuavion, through with Florida Victorious, and the community work they're doing in Gainesville. So look, that's home of AR. He's from Gainesville, grew up there in Gainesville, going to high school in Gainesville. Now he's on the advisory board for Florida Victorious. And look, we've seen recently on social media the work you're doing in the community. So what does it mean to be able to make that impact in the community and to kind of take it further in your good friend's hometown and for a group in Florida Victorious where he's involved as an advisor?
Yes, sir. People always say, like, football is a game. Football, I'm just here to play football. I'm just at the University of Florida to play football. I'm just at any university to play football. But Florida Victorious gives us the opportunity to take steps into influence other people's lives to where it can open people's eyes to where it's like you're more of an impact than a football player. You affect more people in your life than you think you do every day. And Florida Victorious opens our eyes up to that, and they just show us something different every time. Someone who we influence different every time.
JaQuavion, what's been your favorite community involvement so far? It can be under certain events where you get to meet some of the fans and have interaction with the fan base, but also do some good things in the community.
My favorite would probably have to be the Food for Kids that I just did. Going back to I think it was middle school. Let me start off with saying this. Food for Kids was, they are the people that make food bags for kids that are living in almost poverty. So they make food bags for them. So when they leave school Friday, they're able to eat during the weekend with they provide food for the kids that their parents can't be provided. So making those food bags this past Monday, that was probably my favorite because I was one of those students at the time.
JaQuavion, that's something probably we should get into a little bit. Some out there don't see the benefit of name, image, and likeness. These are good things. These are the good stories that come from that. And Florida Victorious is a huge part of that, getting you guys out there, giving you these opportunities. So for somebody out there who doesn't necessarily believe in the name, image, and likeness for student athletes out there, there are some good things going on. What kind of message would you like to send? It's not just a money grab. You guys are limited in the things that you can do with all the time and constraints of school and all the time and constraints of college football. How far in helping just you does name, image, and likeness go?
Like I said, it's deeper than football. I mean, it's one thing getting paid just to make a post, just to do this, just to do that. But Florida Victorious, they help us a lot getting out in the community. And it's not even for getting paid and stuff like that. It's to actually make a difference in someone's life. Make sure they know that I'm a human just like you are.
Yeah, and for you, like you said, it's kind of personal too. Been through some struggles, so how it is. You want to kind of pay it forward a bit.
For sure.
All right, so let's get to a little bit more football. Spring practice just got over with a bit. How do you think the Gators come out of spring and how able that or how you were able to go through spring a bit?
I mean, we still have a long way. I think we're in a good place, but we still got a long way to go. Obviously, I feel good with the position we're in, with the offense and stuff like that clicking well. The defense was making plays, as you could tell. I mean, we're in a great place. Individually, spring didn't go obviously how I wanted to. I didn't participate in 3 weeks of spring, including the spring game, due to an injury. But I feel like I made some good strides since then, and I'm ready to attack the season.
So what kind of things can you learn while you're on the sideline there? Of course, you'd love to be taking those reps and everything there, but how does the focus shift when you're not being able to be out there on the field?
You just got to coach up the little guys, basically. Just keep a good mind, keep everybody motivated. I mean, you can keep yourself motivated by doing that.
Yeah, you've got some experience there, but there's some guys that were taking part in spring practice that didn't have a lot of experience. Some early enrollee true freshmen, and look, a lot has been made about those guys. What did you see from Aiden Mizell and Andy Jean out there taking part in spring practice?
Oh, they're great ball players. They have a bright future here at the University of Florida. They have great drive, great motive. Those are my little brothers. I love them to death.
How do you think they progressed from practice one to all the way to the spring game? Did you like the way they progressed? Did you see some progression and how better they were from practice one to the spring game?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think the biggest thing for them was getting used to the pace of practice. Coming from high school into college, being thrown out into the fire, I had the same problem as well. Being thrown out into the fire, you get learning new signals, learning new people, learning new coaches, new signals, plays, everything like that. It just flies, and they all throw it at you at the same time. So, I think they handled that pretty well.
So we get the news. Xavier Henderson, a teammate of yours, is transferring out of the program now. So does that put more on you? Are you looking at yourself in the mirror and some of the other veterans that Pearsall, Burt, Douglas, and maybe a Khalil Jackson as well as vets of the group? Are you guys looking at yourselves to kind of put more ownership on yourselves with now losing a veteran out of the program?
I mean, we've all always had a chip on our shoulder, so this is like honestly nothing new. We were all going to get our name called at some point to go out there on the field and make our plays. Obviously, with Henderson leaving, there's more opportunities that arise. But I think all of us are pretty much ready in order to take that next step up.
So, of course, now the wide receiver coach that was heavily in recruiting you from his previous time here was, of course, Coach Billy Gonzalez, and him coming back. And, how is playing the wide receiver position different in each system? Of course, he's the same coach, but were you able to pick up on any different? I mean, I know he didn't get to go through all the spring practice. It was kind of limited for him as well. But did you notice any differences from him in Dan Mullen's offense to now Billy Napier's offense?
Nah. I mean, like you said, it's a different system, but he still coaches the same exact things. He still coaches how the old Billy G used to coach. He probably coached Percy Harvin the same exact way. Coach G doesn't care who you are, where you're from. He's gonna be on your back regardless, no matter the system. He's going to coach what he needs to coach.
So if we go to that, personally for you, now you had Billy Gonzalez, Kerry Colbert last year, now Billy Gonzalez again, but now going to that previous offense, so what differences in the offense do you see from Dan Mullen's offense to Billy Napier's offense? What do you need to be as a wide receiver in each offense, and what are the benefits of this offense that you see?
What I need to be in this offense, obviously, this goes for all 11 players on the field, and including the defense we're going against. You need to be in shape. We go fast. We're up pace. We get a big play. We're coming right back at you with another fast play. So being in shape is a big thing for that. Another thing would probably be just like stay on your P's and Q's, knowing where your coach is for signals and everything like that. Just knowing your offense, honestly.
And as far as, I guess, the physical part of it, is there do you play the position different in this offense? I know Dan Mullen's offense, and you can correct me if we're wrong here, is like we knew you had to be a great blocker. I'm sure you got to be a great blocker in this offense as well, but maybe as far as route running, maybe the type of routes, what are some of the maybe key differences in these two offenses?
Key differences would probably be, I'd say, like you said, the blocking is a big part, but I don't think the blocking comes with the system or the coaching or whatever. Well, yeah, it comes with the coaching, in my point. Like, Billy G makes a big emphasis on coaching, blocking. You don't get the ball in your hands, go block, go put your hands on somebody. So that would probably be the biggest difference, honestly. Besides, what could I say? I'd honestly say that's it.
And now, so I guess going for you, when you get back there on the field, when you get back healthy, where do you want to see yourself get better? You know, what do you want to work on in these months leading up to fall camp and then the season coming up?
I mean, obviously, I'm still going through rehab and stuff like that, so I still need to see some progression in my injury. But getting back on the field will come with, you know, footwork drills and stuff like that, just to get back in the groove of everything, staying up to beat and all that.
All right, so of course we got to ask about these quarterbacks. You were able to take part in spring practice there. Got Graham Mertz, got Jack Miller, both taking part in the spring game. What'd you see from the quarterback spot? You know, what are you looking for in a receiver as a receiver in the quarterback that you play with? And I'm sure there's some confidence in both those guys. But you know, what did you take away from their performance throughout the spring?
Both of those guys are great quarterbacks. They're great. They have great confidence and stuff like that. Key takeaways would probably be like as you know, they both played on both teams, and they both adjusted well to the receivers that they had on their team, to the offensive line. You know, they made great adjustments to that. As a receiver, I would be looking for just somebody just to throw me the ball. Honestly, as long as you can make the right reads and everything like that, then you're good. You're good in my book.
Okay, I do have to ask. You know, Billy Napier did not shy away from letting that defense kind of be aggressive there in that spring game. Of course, you know, didn't really call the dogs off from that defense. Was that something that you picked up on from that defense all throughout spring camp? You know, can we expect that type of aggression? Can we expect that type of speed that those guys were flying around with all night? From the only time we really got to see it was in the spring game.
Mm-hmm, most definitely. Yeah, you can definitely expect that for the rest of the 12 games. I think Coach Napier made an emphasis on the defense being stronger, physical, faster, stronger, especially by bringing Coach Armstrong in I think he came from Southern Miss, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah, he brought Coach Armstrong in, and Coach Armstrong he's a great guy, funny guy, but he's also a great coach.
Okay, go back. One more question about the quarterbacks quickly. You know, we know it's a battle going into fall camp. Why would you say Graham Mertz can win the job, and why would you say Jack Miller can go out there and win the job? You know, if there's a difference between the two, you know, what would win the job over the other?
There's really no difference in between the two. At that point, you just have to put trust in Coach Napier. Like you said, like we have to buy into the program. Every time we sign our NLI, National Letter of Intent, like. You just have to trust Coach Napier on that one. I can't really discuss that.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go back a bit more. You know, we talked about your relationship with Anthony Richardson, your AAU basketball days too. But let's go back a bit. You know, and you played some defense back in high school a bit too. I mean, 48 tackles, 2 interceptions, and interception return for a touchdown as a safety as a senior. But then you go to your junior year, 107 tackles, 4 interceptions as a junior, and then you also play outfield for the baseball team, batting .475. You had 37 runs batted in, 49 stolen bases as a junior in 2019. So a 2-part question here. Do you miss playing defense a little bit, and do you miss playing baseball?
I do not miss playing defense at all. Like, I made a point to myself where, like, I would rather be the one getting hit than hitting, because I can't do it. Like, just the picture a guy like Dameon Pierce coming through the hole, coming straight at me, and I'm at 6. That'd be a hard wreck. That'd be a hard wreck to take. But for the baseball thing, yeah, I kind of miss playing it every now and then. It's not really like a big thing in my life anymore. I mean, obviously, like, I miss it, and from a longevity standpoint, I definitely miss it. It's way easier on the body. So yeah, I do miss it.
You keep up with the Gator baseball team much?
I do. Shout out to Jack, man. On the way.
Yeah, exactly, man. Jack's another one, and we'll see. Hopefully, he gets that in this upcoming this series this weekend. But yeah, I mean, it's he's killing the ball right now. I mean, it's crazy how he can go out there and just play, but and he can go pitch, he can go hit, and he excels at both.
Exactly.
You ever get a chance to pitch?
Nah, I never pitched.
No, I couldn't. No, I couldn't either. I mean, I was so short and small. They had me batting leadoff. Just because I got walked all the time. So they just used my speed on the base pass because I got walked all the time. So
yeah, that's how you do it though. That's easy running.
Exactly. So JaQuavion, I know if we go through your bio on the University of Florida's website, one of the main pictures that shows up, and it's after a game, and Billy Napier's right behind you, and he's in the picture, he's patting you on the chest a bit. What's your relationship like with the head coach? And do you have a good story that you can share about Billy Napier?
My relationship with Coach Napier is great. I mean, and I can say this, I can speak for the whole team. Coach Napier is a player's man. Like everything, he makes an emphasis on this is our team. This is not his team. We make all the big time decisions for us as players. But a story. I remember the first day he came in. Well, the first day I met him. I don't think it was the first day he came in. The first time I met him, we were at the bowl game at UCF my sophomore year. And he just came up to me, he patted me on the back. He said, "You better get your mind right, Zero." And I can't remember who the corner was at the time, but he was like, that guy's coming for you. You better get your mind right, Zero. And I said, "Nah, I'm good." He said, "All right." He patted me on the back. I haven't seen him. Well, I didn't see him until we got back from that break after the bowl game.
Okay, there we go. So what was, of course, last season we go to the first game of the year and you get the big win versus Utah, and then just a week later, a disappointing loss versus Kentucky, and it was kind of the story the rest of the year. Some highs, some lows, not a lot of consistency last year. Is that a message that's kind of sent throughout the team there? You know how good you can be. You saw it on display, but you also saw some disappointing performances. So is there a message of maybe more consistency for this season?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Even in days like we have like a great practice, you know what I'm saying? Even for like not even as a team, like offense. Like I'll say one day defense kills us all day. We make an emphasis as an offense. Like we're running gassers today at the end of practice first off, and then come back into the huddle, make sure we're consistent. They can't ever have the upper hand on us ever. If our defense gets the upper hand on us, what's going to happen in the fall? So we just make an emphasis on staying consistent and keeping our head high.
Was there anything that you could maybe point your finger to last year for maybe for those inconsistencies? Was it just the maybe nature of the beast of a first year head coach and everything that has to kind of be figured out in a transition in a first year head coach? And was there anything you guys could really point to that you can kind of key in on this year to fix?
Maybe like some guys just weren't 100% bought in. That'd probably be the best thing. Like now, everyone's bought into the process where we've been in the system for 1.5, 2 years now. So we know like this isn't a facade anymore. If you know what I'm saying. Like guys are way more brought in now. They're taking everything serious. They're taking advantage of every little thing that they can, get into the facility early, getting treatment, stuff like that.
You mentioned the facility. You've been in it about for about right before last football season.
Yeah,
is it everything we thought it would be?
And more.
That sounds good. What's your do you just lounge around in there? Do you find yourself spending more time in there than you thought you would?
Man, I might be in there more than I might be home, honestly. Like I'm definitely there more than I'm at home. I wake up in the morning during the season, probably like 6, 7, go work out, and then get treatment, cold tubs, hot tubs, whatever I feel like doing that day. Then I'll lounge around at the pool with a couple guys. Like I stay there all day.
Let's do a few more questions before we wrap up here, and this would be kind of some fun questions here. Your favorite pair of Jordans?
Favorite pair of Jordans, ones. Do you want to be specific?
Sure.
I go lost and found ones, Jordan ones. You can't go wrong. Or I go black cat 4s.
Okay.
Can't go.
There we go. If there's one team on the schedule that you want to beat more than any other, what team is that?
Florida State.
Florida State. I figured it'd be the in-state rival there. So see, I grew up in Georgia, so it's Georgia for me.
Okay, that's understandable, but Florida State. I mean, that's always the mentality. But I mean, Georgia's definitely the close second. You know, SEC East opponent.
Yeah.
So definitely that Georgia's close second.
Yeah. They keep winning those titles. We gotta stop that sometime soon.
Gotta knock them on the mat for sure.
So orange or blue?
I'm a blue guy.
You're a blue guy. Okay, there we go.
Orange now, but
so that might actually lead to an answer for my next question. I do ask when I do have a player on. If Billy Napier comes to you, it's a big game. He's JaQuavion. You get to pick the uniform for today's game. What color helmet? What color jersey? What color pants you going with?
Man, you got to go white it down. White everything. White
Thank
helmet.
you.
White
Thank
helmet,
you.
jersey, white pants, everything.
I agree, man. That's my choice. I do like the white there. I guess so. I'll do one more question about the white. Then do you like the F on the side of the helmet or the Gators in the cursive writing like it is?
I think it was one time we actually had like the Gator head on there. Maybe sophomore year. It was my second year. We played at USF. I think we had like the red and like the
stars. Red, white, yeah, the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, I think we had that on our helmets. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd probably rather the F, that just for something different.
Okay, there we go. I'm a big Speed F fan, so that's the helmet's behind me on my shelf there. So I show it off when I can. So. Okay, about anything out there you want Gator Nation to know about yourself, the team coming up for this coming up season, or and just being a student athlete, a football player at the University of Florida.
Anybody out there watching, just keep your head motivated. If you want to be a Florida Gator, keep your head down and don't stop grinding.
Quick, one more question, and then I will let you go. So we know these visits come up, I know we can't, speak by name on high school players, but when they come out on visits and stuff, what's the visit look like on for your side when you're hosting players and you have an interaction with high school players? What's the things that you guys do to make sure that they know the best and everything Florida has to offer?
Obviously, like we give them our time. Our time is very valuable. Given that we don't have much free time as it is, like you said, student athletes, but letting them know, like, what I'm saying, top spots around, like we'll go to Swamp, have a good time, let them know, like, these people actually care about us. Like, if we go to Swamp, there's obviously going to be multiple people there, a lot of people there, a lot of fans that keep up with the team. So, like, we take them to, like, Swamp or Ballyhoo's or something like that to let them know, like, the community is behind us.
Awesome. All right. JaQuavion, man, thanks for joining us right here on Gators Breakdown. I'll get ready for first game of the season on the road at Utah. I'm sure that's one you guys are looking forward to as well. Hey, it's a road trip Florida doesn't get to take too often, way out there west. So it'd be interesting to see Florida in a different setting like that. I'm sure you guys are ready too.
Yes, sir.
All right. JaQuavion Fraziars, Gators wide receiver, joining us right here on Gators Breakdown. JaQuavion, thank you so much, man.
I appreciate you for having me. Have a nice one.
You too.